There's never been a big luxury SUV like this one, Tesla's Model X. For the sort of money that you could easily spend on a premium rival in this segment, it offers searing performance and game-changing technology that could only have come from a company with a clean sheet approach to personal transportation. This car is, in short, a breath of fresh air.
The driving experience of this Model X is unlike that of any other large SUV. For starters, it's a pure electric vehicle, so there's no noise from the internal combustion engine, only the distant hum of the twin electric motors. That makes this an astonishingly refined way to travel, with comfort levels embellished by a standard air suspension system which is able to adjust the ride height through either manual or automatic means. The car lowers itself at speed on the highway, but it can be raised for low-speed work over poorer surfaces, although it's not really designed for any sort of off-piste terrain, despite the standard fitment of all-wheel drive across the range. Like all electric vehicles, weight is an issue. Our Model X weighs in only 2.5 tons, but Tesla has minimised the effect of this by centrally mounting all that mass beneath the cabin floor. This approach giving the car an impressively low centre of gravity. As a result, there's less body roll through tighter turns than you might expect, and there might even be some fun to be had were it not for the rather lifeless steering. There are separate electric motors for the front and rear axles, and because drive goes directly from them to the wheels, there's no need for a gearbox, which further adds to the smoothness of your progress. You will have to get used to the regenerative braking system though, which cuts in aggressively as soon as you come off the throttle. That slows the car so sharply as it recycles energy that you really rarely need to use the brake pedal. That's one of the reasons why the potential driving range of this car is so impressive, with the base 329 bhp 75D variant NEDC rated at 259 miles and the 416 bhp 90D model we're trying here officially supposed to be able to travel up to 303 miles. There is a 100D derivative with the same power output. There's NEDC rated at 351 miles, and the flagship 611 bhp P100D variant won't be far behind that, provided you don't exercise its ludicrously quick performance. This 90D version is plenty quick enough for us though, capable of 60 miles an hour from rest in just 4.8 seconds. Although if you often use that kind of acceleration, you'll obviously need more frequent charging stops. Still, that's no problem if you can find one of Tesla's supercharging stations. Now these can refill half your battery in just 20 minutes and top the thing completely up from empty in only an hour and a quarter. Every brand should have a distinctive look, as Tesla does. The Model X doesn't have the handsome shaping of its Model S luxury segment stablemate, but that was always going to be difficult to achieve within the framework of a taller, boxier SUV body style. It does still look faintly futuristic though, even before you click on the car-shaped key and do this. Imagine that at the end of the school run. So let's take a seat inside at the front, where there's a light and spacious feel that's helped by the uncluttered full-width floor space and this huge panoramic windscreen that reaches up over your head into the roof. The dash is dominated by this simply enormous 17-inch colour touchscreen that deals effectively with everything from the air conditioning controls to the navigation, the charging and stereo functions, along with the various settings for things like the car's suspension and the regenerative braking modes. Anything that can't tell you will be covered off by this beautifully presented instrument binnacle screen that brings all the things you really need to know right into your line of sight. So let's head rearwards. Now these Falcon Wing rear doors certainly make getting in and out easier, especially if you're heading to the third row seating that will be provided if you ordered your car with one of the optional 6 or 7-seater packages. We've got a 6-seater model here. Once you are right back here, you get the benefit of this Tesla's enormous 5-metre length. Adults will find knee room limited, and the slope of the tailgate can see your head brushing the rear screen. But in comparison to what you get in most rivals, it's really quite spacious back here. So let's try the second row seating, where once you've adjusted your electrically operable chair, you'll find it very spacious indeed. So finally, let's check out the boot. As you'd expect, the tailgate's power operated. Now obviously with all 7 seats in place like this, luggage space is going to be relatively restricted, but you do get this underfloor compartment for storing all the various charge leads, and the lid for it can be positioned at 2 separate heights. These 2 third-row chairs fold flat into the floor, of course. You have to click forward their headrests before you can do that. You have to move around to the side here and use this button that we showed you earlier behind the seat shoulders. Or it is possible to go further via a seats menu in the centre dash touchscreen. You can activate what Tesla calls a cargo mode, which sees these second row chairs not only slide ahead but also tilt themselves forward to create more room behind. Now, once cargo mode positions are reached, then a substantial total carriage capacity of 2,180 litres is revealed. That's not your lot though, because the lack of an engine up front means that this Model X can provide space here too. Tesla rather annoyingly calls this a frunk. There's 187 litres of room inside it. Here's a design that could probably only have come from Silicon Valley, a car that could perhaps only have been developed by a company associated with one specialising in advanced rockets and spacecraft, and a brand that could certainly only have been founded by an entrepreneur who refuses to be constrained by the bounds of convention. It all adds up to this: a car that does nothing less than rewrite the rule book.